Blowing Up is a fascinating documentary which profiles the women who run and who come before the Queens Human Trafficking Intervention Court, the first problem-solving court in the country attempting to redress the way women and young girls arrested for prostitution are shuffled through our justice system. With unparalleled access to the court, the film captures what it is truly like for these defendants, overwhelmingly undocumented Asian immigrants and American women of color, to go through these complex criminal proceedings. Here's a look.
This charge is a deportable offense.
She was in crisis, and he just swooped in. He sleeps with her passport, he sleeps with her ID, he sleeps with her Social Security card.
I can't say that every woman who comes to the court is going to get the exact help they need.
I have a boyfriend.
Wait, what?
We are going to grant an early sealing.
Yay! It's called blowing up when you leave a pimp. So I blew up and I went home.
And joining us now is the director of Blowing Up, Stephanie Wong Brielle. Stephanie, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Raphael.
Right from the start, you take us into the middle of this Queens Court without narration, without explanation, and we're there with people that we don't know who they are. I was wondering if that was intentional, if you wanted to get us to feel a little bit of what the women defendants who are about to face the court are feeling.
Yeah, you know, when I first experienced this courtroom, the first time that I observed it at work, I also felt that way. And I was just, trying to figure out what do these terms mean, who are these people, who's doing what, who's a defendant. So it is a place that is a bureaucratic place that is very confusing. And so I wanted to give viewers and audiences a feeling of what that must feel like to come into a place like this.
I expected the stereotypes, right? The jaded judge, the jaded prosecutor, the overworked public defendant trying to cop a plea, but instead you find a judge and a prosecutor treating the defendants as human beings in distress rather than criminals. You see the lawyers and the social welfare counselors treating them like family. What kind of court is this?
This is a problem-solving court, and it's the first court of its kind in our nation that is trying to change the way women who are arrested for prostitution are prosecuted. And I was attracted as well to this space because of the deep humanity that is at the core of this institution. We all have institutions surrounding us in every way, shape, or form in our lives. But I think that at the core of each of these institutions, there are people running them. And if the people are really good and trying to change the way that these institutions are run, it's a whole different kind of place.
How did you get the access? I mean, to the court and to the people who you would assume would not want to be filmed.
So making a film like this, as you can imagine, is very challenging.
Yeah.
No one wanted to be in this film. No one wanted to participate in this film. So it took us about 10 months of observation and development and research and building relationships with everyone in the court before we were even allowed to bring cameras into the space. And then once cameras were brought in, it wasn't like we were given carte blanche to film anything and everything that we wanted to. Every morning before we filmed, I would make an announcement in English and in Mandarin to everyone, letting them know what we were doing here and letting them know that they had choice whether or not they wanted to participate. And most people said no. And so for us, a good day out of 90 cases was 1 or 2 women saying yes. We're dealing with a subject matter that has been extremely stereotyped and misrepresented in the media. There are words that are thrown on these women, and they're scared and fearful of the repercussions of these words.
Now, all these women, the women who run the court and work in the court, they work together very well. You can see it in the film to help the defendants. But I get the sense that they don't all agree with each other, because at one time you see Eliza talking to Candy and basically telling Candy, listen, if you get back to the life, just make sure you do it in a way that you won't get arrested. No judgment here. I can't see the judge saying that or some of the prosecutors saying that. Am I getting that right?
You know, when that happened, when I was filming that, I was also shocked that she was saying that. And I was like, wow, I wonder how everyone else is going to feel about this. But you know what? Everyone's just doing the best job that they can given their role in this system. Because at the end of the day, no matter what their dilemma is or how they feel about what's going on for these women and girls, their bottom line, shared goal, is to help these women in any way, shape, or form they can.
You know, near the end of the film, there's a disturbing scene when we see ICE agents enter the court in order to arrest some of these women to later deport them. How can this court continue to survive or to exist as a safe space for these women when they can't protect these women from ICE agents that want to take them and deport them?
Yeah, no, that moment in the filming process was really, really scary and challenging, and you really feel the fragility of this small ecosystem that they created in this small corner of New York. Whether or not it can survive or not, I don't know. I mean,
it's still going. The court is still there.
This court still exists, and the women are still being arrested, and ICE still exists, and Trump is still in power. So, you know, all these women who are in the court can do is continue to do their best, given the many extenuating circumstances that make this whole system so challenging for women and girls.
Well, Stephanie, it's an amazing film, a wonderful film. You told me something that surprised me, which is that women are coming to see it, but not that many men, and I cannot understand that, because this is certainly not a women's film. It's a film for all human beings. And thank you so much for making it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
For information on how you can watch Blowing Up, you can visit our website at metrofocus.org.